Here's what looks like a nicely restored Royal Enfield Constellation 700, and certainly cosmetically it's very bright and shiny and looks very nice. It came here because it had no sparks coming from the magneto, and I managed to find out why and put that right. Basically the points assembly in the magneto was very worn and fitted incorrectly, and it was shorting out to earth. So a bit of jiggery pokery there, and another set of points in it. The points actually spin with the magneto when the engine's running, and the moving point, if you like, was earthing out and shouldn't have been. That was the main problem with it, plus the points were dirty, so I sorted all that out. Got sparks, and they seem to be happening at the right time. But also it's got the TT carburetor, which some of these Constellations had, and that was all in bits and off it, so I've put that back together with all the bits and pieces that were present and correct, so that's now on. I haven't got fuel in a tank yet, and this is another one that looks like it's got some horrible goo lining it, so I might just put a splash of petrol in it and see if it'll start up, and then consider maybe getting the petrol out again as quick as I can. I've got oil, there's oil in the engine. It's showing to the low mark on a dipstick there, and I'm not going to top it up because it's quite possible that this engine could have wet sumped, and if I add oil and fill it up to the high mark and it has wet sumped, the next thing is we'll have oil puking out all over the place. So my plan is to try and see if it'll start. It might not, but if it does, just run it at low revs for a very brief period if everything sounds and seems okay, and then stop it and check the oil level again. And also, when I will be trying to start it, you're going to hear some weird squeaking. Which seems to be from some kind of, I'm guessing there must be a one-way valve on a breather pipe somewhere. But I've also noticed that the squeaking isn't quite so prominent with the oil filler cap undone. So that's what we got so far. As all these adverts and things on eBay say, no attempt has been made to start it. Well, we'll soon put that right. Whether it will start or not is anybody's guess. So I'm going to put some fuel in it next, and then we'll give it a go. Okay, I've put some fuel in the tank now, and I'm ready to see if we can coax any life out of this. Let's see, hopefully the camera will pick us up there. Let's see what, if anything, happens. Right, there's life, Jim, as long as we know it. Now there's nothing. Well, it fired, rather spat or kicked back, that's all I got. The carburetor's dribbling wildly there. I better have a look into things and see if the sparks are still with us. Right, I've looked at a few things on this, and we seem to have good sparks for a couple of kicks and then they disappear, which was a bit strange. But anyway, I've had the points assembly out. I've also shut the points gaps down a little bit because they were a bit too wide, and freed off a stuck advanced retard, this was slip ring, not slip ring, the points cam that rotates in the body of the magneto to advance and retard was a bit sticky, so I've cleaned that up as well. I don't know whether it's going to help, but I'm ready to give it another try. Let's see what, if anything, might happen. It did spit and generally threaten that it might fire up before, but nothing really came of it. Let's see if there's any change now. Let's put the fuel on. Well, did that run? I think that ran very, very briefly, but it ran. I think I've got some more fiddling about to do here, but that seems to sort of tell me that it will run, subject to a bit more faffing around, so that's what I'm going to do next. Here we are! One rather wet sumped engine, I would say. But it's running, so I'll just let it run like that for a little while, see if it clears itself. Like I say, the oil was on the bottom mark on a dipstick, so it could have a pint or two in a crankcase that it needs to pump out. But we got a runner, and that was literally, that started up within a few kicks following the last clip where it fired up and ran very briefly. So not too much fuss at all getting it to start up. Getting rather smoky in here. Got the door open, mind. I wonder if I can ease the choke off. Yes, I can. And the smoke is clearing. No great pool of oil underneath it, which is good. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a runner. That's full advance. To weaken the mixture on a TT or a GT carb, you screw the mixture screw in. I hear a twitter from a cylinder head joint, I would say. Smoke is cleared. Now then, let's see if I can be a real smart Alec and start it up again. There! There's no tick over throttle stop screw on a TT carburetor either, so I can't set a tick over. Just got to do it at the twist grip. Twist grip is set so it's fairly stiff to rotate at the moment, so I can set it wherever I want. How about that? That'll do for me. Right, I'm going to make another short clip of this Royal Enfield 700 Constellation, and we saw me trying to start it, and then I sort of gave up and went to have another look at it, and then I got it started and I didn't start filming until after the engine was running, and it was smoking heavily because it had wet sumped. I'd seen the oil was only at the bottom of the dipstick. Well, it's run for long enough that the smoke has cleared and the oil is right up to the high mark on the dipstick now, so it's risen on the stick by about 3 inches at least, I would say. So I'm just going to start it up again and hopefully confirm that the smoke has cleared. You may well hear a little bit of a twittering noise because I'm going to need to tighten the cylinder heads down for certain. But it seems to be starting and running okay, as I'll hopefully demonstrate here. Sorry folks, knocked you flying again. There we are. I might have to wipe the lens of the camera, bear with me. How's that? That's better. Not quite no smoke, but not very much either. And we obviously have a blow at a head gasket there to try and deal with, so I'm not going to run it for too long and aggravate that. I'll have to get the tank off and go around all the cylinder head nuts and hopefully find where I can tighten them down. It also blew a bit of oil out there. That's probably from when it was wet sumped. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem. But credit where it's due, I didn't rebuild this engine, but I think whoever did probably made a pretty good job of it, judging by the sound of it. Running pretty nicely overall there, I'd say. The next thing for me to do then is get the tank off, go around the cylinder head nuts, and I'll also check the valve clearances and see how things like that are looking, and hopefully get closer and closer gradually to possibly being able to try this out on the road and see how it goes. But I think we've got a pretty good runner for the owner anyway, so that's a major hurdle overcome.